Hey guys, excuse the background noise. There's a little bit of it, but anyway, I closed the window and you can still hear something. I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's a truck or something. I don't know. So today, I wanted to talk about something that literally just happened today. So I went this morning. I went to meet to have a little like meeting with my future, I guess like thesis professors because I'm going to start a PhD. I guess in September. Here's the thing. Well, I made two videos about it, like about like the talk that I had with them and why I didn't want to do it at first, and then how I changed my mind and everything. I didn't tell them I changed my mind. I literally just changed my mind and then told them that I wanted to do it. Anyway, so the videos are gonna be here below, and so long story short, I went on a meeting with them because I essentially I have there are things that I have to learn because I didn't do a master's degree in like research and quantitative like methods and stuff like that, and it's gonna be in business and economics. And I did a master's in accounting and auditing because that's what I wanted to do, technically, right? And so, I have to catch up on a lot of things. But the thing is, like, I also applied for a scholarship. I applied for two, to be precise. The first one, I didn't get it. The second one, I'm not taking it for granted. They say that it's almost certain that I'm gonna get it because I have a good academic record, and they said that there was people with worse, not worse, or like lower grades, and they would get the PhD. They got the, what do you call it, the scholarship, and so they said that I was not gonna have any problems getting it. The thing is, I started worrying a little bit about the because I was offered to do the PhD, and I was talked about the topic that I was gonna do it about, and it was very political. It was very politically charged. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to disclose like the name of the topic or anything, but it was essentially about politics and stuff. And I was like, well, maybe if it's like, here's the thing about me. I want to be on the internet. Like, I want to talk on the internet. I like talking on the internet, like I'm doing it right now. And I want to be an entertainer, but I want to be just an entertainer. Like, I don't want to talk about politics. You know what I mean? I I feel like I was put in this world to entertain. You know what I mean? And I don't want to make it political. I don't think it is worth it to have half of the people like me and half of the people hate me or whatever because I have this opinion. You know what I mean? Like, if my job is entertainment, like, that doesn't have to be political. I don't have to talk about politics. It's like, if your job is to be a teacher or a professor, you don't have to talk about politics in class. If your job is to be an auditor, you don't have to talk about politics at work. You know what I mean? And your job doesn't have to involve you talking about politics. So why does my job have to do with that? I understand that, like, sometimes maybe you have to speak up, and I understand that, like, sometimes if you have like a voice or whatever, maybe you should use it for a good cause. I totally get that, but especially now that nobody knows who I am, I can't change anything. People are gonna have their opinions, whatever. And politics is a really hard topic. It's like talking about football or sports or whatever. It's like talking about religion. You know what I mean? Everybody has a different opinion and personal relationship with it, and I didn't want to talk about it because, like, the thing with a thesis, with a PhD thesis, is that it's something that's going to be posted on the internet. Essentially, it's going to be something that I'm posting on the internet, and it has my name on it. You know what I mean? And even if it's like really objective, like research and results and all that stuff, I didn't want to do it about that. It was just my personal thing. And I was worried that my professors weren't gonna like that. Like, I was worried that, like, if I told them, like, hey, this is here's my thing. I don't want to. Maybe I shouldn't. Like, I don't want to talk about politics on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, it's my thing. I don't know. And I wonder if I could change like the topic. Like, maybe I could do it about something else or something similar, but not exactly that. Maybe I could make it about, like, I don't know, something socioeconomic rather than, I don't know. And I was worried that they were going to say no because I was offered to do the PhD and I was offered to do it about that. They didn't really give me any other topics to make it about. So I thought that it was that and only that. And here's the thing, and this is what I told my parents, and my parents they agreed with me on that. We were like, listen, if this does not happen, like, if they only want me to make it about this thing and only about this thing, like, it's fine. I can always go back to auditing, whatever. I won't do the PhD. I can go back to auditing. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to, like, stay in touch with auditing and not, let's say, quit auditing at least so early. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen in my life? Like, maybe I'm going to go back to auditing, I don't know, in 2 years. Who knows? But the thing is, like, I was like, maybe this is an opportunity for me to go back to auditing and experience it a little bit more, to maybe put my CV in one of the big four companies, I don't know, and work there for a little bit, do an internship, I don't know. And I like auditing, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I like the idea of a PhD, and if I want to do a PhD, like, the idea was already put in my head, so I kind of want to do it. So if I still want to do the PhD, I can always go back to doing it later. Like, maybe it doesn't have to be in my university. Maybe it can be another one. Maybe I can do it, yeah, online, part time, or whatever it is. That, let's say that option is always going to be there, you know? So I was like, at the end of the day, it's fine. But I didn't want to take the job for granted, because I was like, what if I get told no, not by the people who give me the scholarship, but by the people who are going to direct my thesis, right? And what else was I going to say? Yeah, and I didn't want to tell them, like, I talked about this at home, and my parents were like, maybe you should, like, wait until you get the scholarship, because, like, if you haven't gotten the scholarship and you tell them that, and you're not going to get the scholarship anyway, then, you know what I mean? Like, that conversation was unnecessary. But then I was also like, I don't know, I feel like getting the scholarship and then telling them that I want to change the topic, or that I don't like the topic, is kind of like, okay, the money goes first, and then I don't want to do it about what you told me I was going to do it about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a gangster, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like, okay, money first, and then I tell you my thing. No, 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 no. Well, I don't even know how gangsters do things. But anyway, the thing is, I was like, I think I prefer to say it now, because, like, I'm gonna go on holiday, and it's gonna be for like a month or something, and I don't want to be worrying about this, because it's not like I'm not sleeping over it, but it has been in my mind, and I haven't taken it for granted, and I have been upset that I might not get the fucking PhD. So I was like, you know what? I think I should just say it, and I should just introduce sort of my worry about it. And they were like, it's fine. No, actually, I didn't even tell you guys what they said. So, because I don't want to spoil it. I don't even know. I don't even know what this video is. But the thing is, like, in the end, everything was fine. They were like, yeah, I mean, nothing is like definitive, you know what I mean? Like, nothing is like, you know what I mean? You don't have to like do it about this thing, like, you can always like, you can change sort of like the topic. Maybe you can change it a little bit, or you can do it about something else, you know what I mean? You're gonna be like, you know, kind of like experiencing or like exploring what you want to do, make it about, like, specifically, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm gonna start with like general things, and then I'm gonna go to the specific stuff. So they were like, yeah, don't worry about it. You can always change it later, or you can make it about something similar and not exactly that. You know what I mean? Like, something that you're comfortable with. And I was like, thank God. Like, because I was so worried about it. I was like, if they're not okay with me saying that, then I don't have a job. Then I don't have the job. Who cares if I get the scholarship? I don't have a job. And what I wanted at the end of the day is to have a job. I wanted to have a job. So now, coming back from this, because I came back walking, I was like, I have a job. Like, now I have a job. I'm almost certain that I have a job. Like, if I get the scholarship, I have a job. I can make the thesis about something that I'm comfortable with, and I'm doing a PhD, and it's my job. You know what I mean? Which is the most important thing. Like, whether it's auditing, a PhD, obviously I preferred to do a PhD because the idea was already put in my head, and a PhD is like something that I wanted to do anyway, even if I went back to auditing. Of course, I would have wanted to have done auditing for a little bit longer, because I'm not an expert and I'm already, hopping into another field. But who cares? Who cares? My main thing in life is this: content, entertainment. This is what I want to do in life. Like, this is what drives me. I shouldn't be too stressed out about it. But the thing is, I have a job. Now I can say with certainty that I have a job. So the point of this video is basically to say that, like, you should be, I guess, like, clear from the start. I mean, from the start I was like, well, maybe, yeah, okay, like, it's okay, I'll talk about politics, whatever. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, this does not align with who I am. So I expressed it, and I'm glad that I did, and I'm glad that I didn't wait for a month, because I would have been like, oh my God, but even if I get the scholarship, I'm going to have to tell them this, and I don't know, I feel like the longer I wait, the worse it is, and it was going to be in my head a lot. So I'm glad that I had that conversation with them, and we didn't just talk about that, we talked about, I don't know if I mentioned it on this video, because I started making this video a little bit ago, and so yeah, we were talking about, I lose my point so easily. So yeah, we were talking about like the things that I had to like learn, because I did a master's degree, and I don't know if I mentioned it here. I don't know if I mentioned it here in the other video. I don't know, because I stopped recording because I changed my clothes. because it was really hot today. It is really hot, and I had to close the window. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, I did a master's in accounting and auditing, and I didn't do it about economics and like quantitative, qualitative like methods to research. And I should have done it, but I didn't know I was gonna do a PhD. So there's a lot of things that I have to catch up on. So that's essentially what we were gonna talk about. But I still wanted to mention that. I was like, what if I mention it? I did, and I'm glad I did. So I guess kind of the point of this video is, if you're gonna get a job, like, you have to be like, not only does it have to be the job that you want, let's say you get the internship you want at the company you want, the whatever you want, but you also have to be okay with what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? If what you think you're gonna do is not ethical, if what you think you're gonna do is, it does not align with who you are, if you're gonna be posting something on the internet that you don't really feel okay posting or whatever, like if you're not comfortable doing exactly what you're gonna do, you can always walk away. You can say it, like have a, like ChatGPT says, have an open and honest conversation. I ask ChatGPT for advice a lot. Maybe I shouldn't, because it's not a person, but I do. Anyway, it's a different point of view. Is it a point of view? Because it's, anyway. So I do that, and so yeah, have a conversation with the person to see, you know, kind of how they see it. If there's other options, if there's other ways that you can do it, and not exactly that way. And you can always walk away. It's like, okay, maybe this is the company that I wanted to work at, but like what I was gonna do, I was gonna regret it so much that it's probably not even worth it. Maybe I can, I don't know, put my CV and do another interview later in a few years, maybe for another position, not exactly that one. Let's say you don't want to do tax consulting at a big four, you prefer to do auditing. Well, maybe you can do another interview for auditing, or I don't know how that works. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't feel comfortable, talk about it. And at the end of the day, like, do you know what I mean? Like, no one died. Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, I had this conversation with them, and even if they didn't agree, I can always go back to auditing. I mean, that's why I did a master's degree in auditing, so I should be able to do that, you know? So, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And I'm happy now, because now I'm gonna have a job that I'm gonna be proud of. It's not gonna be like the coolest thing in the world, but because I'm gonna have to work hard. I mean, where there's smoke, there's brass. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work hard. Um, and yeah, you know. But I'm proud of what I'm gonna do. I like the job that I'm gonna have, and which I never thought I was gonna say. Like, I always thought that I was gonna hate the job that I haven't even started doing it. But like, I'm proud of what I'm saying is that I'm proud of what I'm gonna do. I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy that I had this conversation, because now I just got a weight off my chest and nothing happened. It was all good. So yeah, um, I'm gonna film the video in Spanish now, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.